This story comes to us from bostonglobe.com. A Boston police detective who was arrested in March of 2021 for allegedly possessing amphetamine and methamphetamine in New Hampshire had been trading narcotics for sex with a woman there for years, according to court documents. Now, Sergeant Detective Andrew Johnson, 52 of Chestnut Hill, had allegedly attempted to rape the woman and had assaulted her and another woman, leaving them with cuts and bruises, according to an affidavit filed in Grafton Superior Court.
Boston police officer has been arrested on drug charges. Andrew Johnson was arrested in West Roxbury today on charges tied to an incident in Woodstock, New Hampshire in January. Prosecutors say Johnson was in possession of methamphetamine and amphetamines. I-Team sources tell WBZ that Johnson's a sergeant in the Internal Affairs Division. Boston police say he was put on leave when they learned he was under investigation. The department's anti-corruption unit also began its own inquiry.
The report was filed as the New Hampshire Attorney General's office argued against an effort by Johnson's attorneys to challenge the search warrant in the case. There's been no ruling on the search warrant argument. Now, Sergeant Detective John Boyle, the chief spokesman for Boston Police Department, said Johnson had been suspended without pay. He declined to comment further, citing an ongoing investigation by the department's Bureau of Professional Standards. Johnson, his attorney, and the union representing the Boston police detectives did not immediately respond to requests for comment. So the union is still representing this guy, sounds like. In the affidavit, a Woodstock, New Hampshire police officer wrote that he had been sent to Inn32, a motel in town, shortly after 1:30 a.m. on January 23rd last year to check out a disturbance. And when the officer arrived around the same time as two Lincoln, New Hampshire police officers and the three then encountered Johnson, who waved them over to Unit 22, according to the document. Outside the motel room, Amanda Dinger and Lynetta Fanaris were sitting in a running car, and they told the officers Johnson had assaulted them, according to the affidavit. Fanaris had a bruise forming on her face, Dinger had a cut on her nose, and both women were crying. Johnson then said the women had stolen his cell phone and some money and explained that he had known them for a while and had come to the area previously to have sex with Dinger, according to the affidavit. So that's why he was waving him over, because he wanted to have sex with Dinger. There's something off about that. Yeah, I'm going to have sex with Dinger. What? You mean Dingy? Johnson said he, Dinger, and Fanaris had been drinking at the Pemmy Public House in North Woodstock and had gone back to his motel room where they began to fool around. And Johnson noticed Dinger going through his jeans and removing about $200 in $20 bills, the affidavit said. Johnson confronted and grabbed Dinger, and Fanaris jumped onto his back and put him in a headlock while Dinger ran away with his phone and his money. Now, police seized 3 bags from Johnson and took them to Woodstock Police Station, where an officer was able to identify some of the pills as amphetamines. A drug-sniffing canine also detected narcotics in the bag, and a judge granted the search warrant, according to a document, which now they want to block. They want to contest the search warrant, his attorneys. But, you know, it kind of leads you back to, how do we believe anything a cop says if you get cops like this? I mean, obviously they found the drugs on him. Obviously the canine found the drugs. They're reporting it. You know, she says this guy's been doing this for a while with her. How many people has he busted for drugs? How many people has he arrested for drugs? How many people have been convicted by this cop for drugs? They found 3 bags of amphetamine on the guy. So this is another one where we have to wonder, you know, when we read a police report, is it a fairy tale or is it nonfiction?